Welcome back everyone for another fast meal prep hack. So in this video we are going to do tofu scramble, but this is going to be a little bit different because we are here in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So this is going to be my Brazilian style tofu scramble. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do first is go ahead and go into the refrigerator, all right? Hopefully y'all can see everything from here. And I'm going to grab some ingredients. So I'm going to grab some grape tomatoes. I want to grab some bell peppers, which is very high in vitamin C. Also the tofu, okay? Now the tofu I'm going to use is already pre-marinated. This is about 351 grams of tofu, and it has about 70 to 80 grams of protein, okay? Really high. This is something that's really cool being in a different country, okay? Also what we're going to do is get some mushrooms, all right? Some white mushrooms, white button mushrooms, high in vitamin D. Also, we're going to grab some onions right here, very good in potassium, and also some kale, all right? We want to grab some kale as well, very high in vitamin C and your iron and calcium source. Also, what we're going to do is grab some vegan cheese. Yes, they do have vegan cheese in Brazil, all right, which is really cool. And the last thing we're going to get as the ingredient is some frozen veggies, okay? This is mixed frozen veggies. Now, what we're going to do now is go ahead. I want to turn the camera back here so y'all can see. And what we're going to do now is go ahead and grab a cooking pan. So I want to grab this nice big old pot, throw everything in here. Just turn on the stove, all right? And then the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead put in the frozen vegetables. I want to put in the frozen vegetables first just because it's frozen, all right? So this is the first thing I want to open up, just like that. Throw this right here in the pot, all right? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start chopping up all these vegetables. So let me go ahead and get a cutting board out, all right? Because while I'm cutting up the vegetables, I'm going to go ahead and saute a lot of it as well. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get the chop up the onions. Like I said, this is very high in potassium, and it's really good for like gut bacteria as well. All right, so this is one of the cool things about onions. And I'm going to throw a whole onion in there. Okay, one whole onion. All right, so let me just peel off this first layer. All right, and the onions here are a little bit smaller. So that's why I'm using the onions, because when I'm back at home, the onions are a lot larger, okay? And one of the benefits about being in Brazil is that a lot of the fruits and vegetables and stuff are really natural, even when they're not certified organic, okay? So that's from what I was told by some of the locals, especially when you go to the farmer's market. Like, you'll see that a lot of the fruits and vegetables are very natural. Like, you could just taste it, you could see it, you could smell it, and just the presentation of it looks amazing, okay? They really do very well with a lot of their foods. You know, they really grow the food very natural out here, all right? I'm already done with that. Now I'm going to go ahead, get some good vitamin C. I'm just going to go ahead and use just half of the bell pepper, okay? Let me just rinse this off a little bit. All right, and I do have, when it comes to my vegetables, I do have some of them that's organic and some of them are not. So this one's organic. The onion wasn't really organic. It didn't say it was certified organic. So I do have a mixture. Now, when it comes to traveling and stuff like that, you know, it's all about just getting a lot of your healthy nutrients in. So sometimes you just have to compromise, okay? And as long as you rinse off your vegetables and stuff like that, then you should be good, all right? Now, I'm chopping this up, and like I said before, this is really good for vitamin C, all right? Bell peppers is a superfood, all right? And this is why I love using them, because a lot of people think that fruits are really high in vitamin C, which they are, depending on what fruits. Let's say like an orange is pretty high in vitamin C, but bell peppers are, I believe they're about like 2 to 3 times higher in vitamin C, okay? And bell pepper is actually considered as a fruit as well. You know, a lot of people don't know that. But the reason that people don't is just because bell peppers aren't like as sweet as like a mango or a banana. Now next thing I'm going to do is grab a handful of baby tomatoes or grape tomatoes. And like I said, some of the things that I noticed being out here in Brazil, there's a lot of things that are a lot smaller, okay? So look at how small this tomato is. It's so small, it's ridiculous. Versus at home, even with the organic bell peppers, they're a lot larger than the ones I have right here. So I'm just going to slice this up really quick. All right. And remember, when you're using a knife, you want to be real careful because especially with these type of knives, these are very sharp. All right. So even though you're rushing, you want to really be careful on that. All right. Now I'm just going to go ahead and stir up my veggies really quick so nothing burns. Turn down the heat just a tiny bit. All right. Next thing is my mushrooms. Okay. Open this up. I'm going to grab a nice about 3 or 4, which is like a handful. Okay. Same thing. Want to rinse these off. And here's some of the things that I've noticed too is that a lot of from what I was told by some of the locals as well, a lot of the vegetables are already hand washed. Like they hand wash most of them already. But I always rinse them off or I always rinse them off anyways just in case. You know what I mean? So you want to get that vitamin D in. And being here in Rio de Janeiro, it's always sunny out here. It's almost like Florida. You can always get some vitamin D outside as well, all right? But if you're somewhere in the colder states, especially during this time, you know, definitely double up on your mushrooms, okay? Get that natural source of vitamin D, all right? And the next thing is the kale, all right? I want to grab a couple leaves of this. Grab about, I'd say about like 3 large leaves, because these are pretty big. All right, rinse these off, and this is what I mean. Look how clean it is. And sorry, in the wrapper, you don't even see this in the States. You know what I mean? And another thing that I noticed as well is that when it comes to the veggies, and when I was shopping for vegetables and stuff, I didn't see a lot of frozen vegetables. Like usually I use a lot of stuff that's frozen because it's really fast to use. And the thing, hold on, I'm just cutting this really quick. I want to throw it away the ends because the ends are really tight. But what I was saying before, let me chop this. I'm going to chop this in small little pieces, okay? And as y'all saw, I kind of bent some, right? And this is a good handful, all right, of some kale. And that's how you break them up. Hold on, just stir this again. So what I was saying before was that one thing that I noticed being out here is that a lot of vegetables and fruits are very fresh, okay? And they don't use a lot of frozen stuff. Like, I went to multiple markets looking for a lot of frozen vegetables. And the only one I saw was the one I showed you that came with broccoli and cauliflower, string beans, and carrots, okay? All the other ones was, they did have different ones that had like peas and stuff, but they were pretty much the same, okay? And it was really interesting that they didn't have a lot of other stuff that's frozen, okay? Now, this is the tofu. Like I said, look how small this is, but it's super condensed. It's already pre-flavored, and it has about 70 to 80 grams of protein in it, okay? So what I'm going to do now is just chop this into small little pieces, okay? To make this into a scramble. Actually, what I should have done, which I made a mistake, is actually, I'm just going to crush it with my hands, okay? Because usually I made a mistake, sorry guys. I usually crush it inside the bag and then pour it in. But I'm just going to go ahead and make a mess, all right? I only got 15 minutes to make this video and put everything in. Yeah, so unfortunately it's going to be a mess. I want to throw this in here. Yeah, sorry about that. Totally mess that out. I'm so used to having my original kitchen, okay? Totally forgot that small step. Now this whole kitchen is a mess. So, like I said before, if you want to do the scramble with the tofu, smash it in the bag first, and then after that, you can put it in the pot. All right. So that's pretty much it. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and clean all this stuff up. All right. This is one of the cool things about this. You definitely want a clean kitchen. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and get some of this cheese, vegan cheese by Superbom. Pour that in there. And what I'm going to do too, I'm just pouring a little bit. All right. And what I'm going to do too, as well, is add some seasoning. All right. Let me just mix this up, and I'm going to bring y'all next to the stove so y'all can see the scramble. All right. And it looks really good already. I want to bring y'all over so y'all can see how it looks. All right. So now, some of the most important things you want to do for the scramble is add some turmeric. All right. This is a natural anti-inflammatory, and you can boost up the anti-inflammatory agents, right, if you add some black pepper. So I'm just going to pour a couple of dashes like that in here. And as you can see, it's in a little plastic baggie. And the reason that is because some of the spices, when you go to the farmer's market, they sell the spices like right in like these big old pots, and then they just put in these little small baggies for you, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to go back into the fridge, grab some black pepper. Like I said, the black pepper actually boosts up the anti-inflammatory agents. All right, do that. Almost done, you guys. And then I'm going to add some paprika. Oh man, there's the black pepper. All right, get a knife. Now, with the paprika, this is like a spice, okay? Spicy foods actually help speed up your metabolism, so you can, not really your metabolism, but your thermogenics, so you can burn more fat. And then what I'm going to use is the spice for a roast, which is white rice. Now, this has like a combination of garlic in this, so I'm going to use this, so it gives it some more flavor. And here's the best thing about this plant, about this meal, is that I didn't add any salt because the sodium is already inside the tofu. Okay. Now I'm going to mix it all together while this is cooking, and it's pretty much done. This is how fast it takes to make this tofu. It's really quick, real easy, and it's delicious. And the vegan cheese that I'm using by Superbom is already melted. It goes great, and the kale is shrunk. All right, this is one of the good things. That's why you want to use a lot of kale that you saw me use, because the leaves will shrink when it's cooked. All right. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and show y'all the end results. Okay. And let me see how much time. 13 minutes. Look at that. That's a Brazilian style tofu scramble, okay? Now, in the link below, what I'm going to do, or in the description box, if you're watching this on IGTV or on YouTube or my blog, I'm going to write down the exact macronutrients so y'all can know what it is. But right now, I do have a good estimation, like I said before, somewhere around 70, 80 grams of protein, maybe a little bit more in the 80s because of all the fruits and vegetables that's in there. Plus, when it comes to the carbs, it's going to be somewhere in the 20s, and the fats is going to be actually a little low because the tofu here, the fats are actually low, which is amazing. Okay, so as y'all can see, that is the tofu scramble, and it actually tastes really delicious. We're going to go ahead and do a little taste test real quick so y'all can see how good it is. And delicious. Ooh, and it's hot. So with that said, you guys, that is how you make a Brazilian style tofu scramble. If you like everything that you saw today, please comment down below and give me some support. But with that said, peace out, you guys. Ciao.